It's giveaway time. Hey y'all, welcome back to Dots and Beyond. My name is Beth, and this is the long-awaited giveaway of the 2022 Fierce Fictional Female Journal that I have been working on. And I wanted this video to go up at least 2 weeks ago, but I am not a full-time creator and sometimes life gets in the way. And between my full-time job and some illnesses, and one of my kids got sick, none of us had the COVID, so for that we are grateful. But now we are finally ready to launch this giveaway. So again, if you've been following the channel for a little while, you know that I have been doing a fierce fictional female setup for all of my monthlies through the course of 2022, and I wanted to carry that on and get some more great fictional characters into a journal and give that away to one of you. So here is the journal. It is a pink journal from Maisie Lane Co., and it is embossed with 2022 hashtag fierce, and we are going to go ahead and open this up. Now while I am doing that, in order to be eligible to win this journal, it is for my first giveaway going to be limited to the United States or Canada. Sorry for that, but I think shipping at this point, it's not going to get to anybody for January. If you live elsewhere, so US or Canada, you have to like and subscribe this video and my channel, and make sure that your subscription's turned on so that I can see who you are. You also need to follow me on Instagram at Dots and Beyond, and I will link that down below. And then comment on this video what your favorite month is and leave your Instagram handle, and that is how you can be entered to win this journal. I am going to leave this live until this Friday, and that will be Friday the 10th, I believe, of December, so that we can get this in the mail. So let's go ahead and open her up and look at what we have. If you want me, the winner, to design a nameplate for you, I'll happily do that, but otherwise I have left that empty and blank. And then, like our sneak peek showed, our first fictional female character is Katniss Everdeen. She was one of the most requested of the months as I was setting up my own journal. She didn't make it into my own journal, so obviously I had to include her here in the main setup. I'm going to put an identifier on how to create your own key for the winner, but I did not want to lock that person into my key, so there was space there for them to create their own key. And of course, because we're piggybacking on the Fierce Fictional Female Challenge, the word of the year for this journal is fierce. Here is the future log with the 12 districts of Pen M for the Hunger Games. A goals page for both work, rest, and play. And then I did an annual mood tracker in the form of a year in pixels, so that I could also include these Tombow colors in the giveaway, and that you will always have those colors to fill that in. And then we move into January, and the Fierce Fictional Female for January is Mary Poppins, and Mary Poppins was also highly requested, so I thought I would get a little caricature version of her into January. And what I have done is done the monthly calendars a little bit differently, the habit trackers a little bit differently, the weeks a little different, in case you are not a regular bullet journal, so that you can explore those different setups and find what you like and what works best for you. You have a lot of different options to play with as the months go along. So here's a calendar with dates, habit tracker, and then just the first 2 days of January before we roll into a full week. And then here is week 2 with Mary Poppins, week 3, week 4, and week 5 with Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. And then as we wrap up each month, I have given most of them a reflect or remember or review page. And then some of the months have got a little activity to do. Some of them have a brain dump page like this one. Others have a playlist. Again, just so that you can explore what works best for you in the bullet journaling method to see what you really like. And then the second Fierce Fictional female character for this journal for February are the Powerpuff Girls. And this is one that my son actually asked me to include, and I had some requests for the Powerpuff Girls, and so I thought it would be fun to put them in February since they are all about love. So here is the Powerpuff Girls with this little Dutch door, spot for habit trackers, goals, birthdays, events, and a mini calendar. And then right into the weeklies, where I feature each one of the Powerpuff Girls on their own week. And then combine them together for some girl power here at the end of the month. And then on this page, I did include a list of things that I love about me since it is February, as well as a review page. Now, in my own journal, I did not draw every single month. Sometimes I did use printables, and there was one character that I wanted in my journal more than any others that did not make it in, and that is Storm from X-Men. And eventually I decided she had to be in this journal, but I reverted to printables because I could never figure out how to execute her perfectly. And so we have gone the printable route for Storm for March. So here is her cover and a calendar page. I did draw the lightning. I did have a lot of fun learning how to draw lightning. And then the weeklies for Storm as well. But these are, I did print these on sticker paper. So there is a Pinterest board linked down below that has a lot of my inspiration, because obviously I did not do or draw any of these, and so they all came off of my Storm Pinterest board if you want to look back and see who the original artists were for these different stickers that I made. And there's the last week of March. One of the other things I did is that some weeks have a spot for task lists and some do not, again, so that you can try to figure out if you need a separate task list or if you're just good with the daily setups. All right, and after Storm, we move into April. Again, here's Storm's habit tracker and her review page. And then April is Rey from Star Wars. And I did start off with paint on this one. I did switch over to markers, and we're going to talk about the reason why here in a little bit. It definitely has to do with the journal and how it takes paint. But here's the cover page for Rey. And then you see I did switch to markers to get the habit tracker and then the linear calendar. And then right into those weeklies for Rey. She was a very difficult one for me to draw or even replicate a lot of the fan art. I struggled with her a lot, but I do like the way that it turned out. And here I added a playlist and again a review page. And then moving into May, another highly requested character is Katara. And this one was another fun one, trying to draw the waves sort of in this Japanese style. That they draw waves and water, but I definitely wanted to do that. This one is done with colored pencil, which is the first time that I've taken colored pencil into a journal. Normally I'm markers or paint. So I knew I had to go colored pencil in order to get her skin tone correctly and to do some of the shading that I wanted to do for her character. Here I gave Katara a big calendar, and then again the weeklies. And on each of the weeklies, I used a little symbol for water on each one. And then this month is just Katara's main symbol herself. And the ideas page and the review page. After May, we move into June. And for June, I did Elle Woods from Legally Blonde. And this is the reason that I stopped using paint. I actually had done Elle first, And you see these little bitty bits of pink where some of the paint has transferred over. I have tested this. It does erase. I can take an eraser and erase it off, but then it'll actually just retransfer over onto. This does not happen in my Archer and Olive journals. So this is something that is just slightly different with the paper and the paper quality in the Maisie Co. lane, that when I do paint with watercolors, it is doing this little bit of transfer of watercolor dust. Now granted, I don't use necessarily the most high-end watercolors either. I'm not a full-time watercolor artist by any stretch of the imagination, so that may also contribute to it. But that does have this little bit of dusting in there. It will erase, but again, it'll transfer back over when the pages are closed and pressed on. June calendar and habits for Elle Woods. And then a Dutch door weekly setup. So here at the top, everything stays the same. And here are the weeklies for June. And again, you see where the pink is transferring over from the paint. And like I said, that does not happen in my Archer and Olive journals. And then I gave Elle a big review page. After Elle, I did put in a little 6-month checkup page with a nod back to my very first character in my January setup for 2021, which was Wonder Woman for the 2021 setup. And I left her blank so that somebody wanted to color her, you could go ahead and color her in. And then for the back half of the year, the first character is Zoe from Firefly, and this really was all about the actress of Gina. I wanted to get her into a spread in some way, shape, or form because I think she's one of the most exquisite humans ever, and I love every character she ever plays. But I do love Firefly. I'm a big sci-fi nerd, so that is the show that I went with and the character that I went with of Zoe to get her in here. And again, this is another one that was very difficult for me to draw. I don't do well with exact likenesses, but I do love how this turned out ultimately. Here's the habit tracker. In this one, I put in a 1 line a day spread, and then the weeklies. And playlist and review. And then other than Katniss, there were 2 characters who were the most requested. The second of those is the bride from Kill Bill. This is another one where I had already started with paint and then I reined back and switched to marker because of the paint transference. But here is the cover for the bride for August, with the bright yellow habit tracker, dates, goals, notes on this side. And then for the weeklies, I recreated these pop art versions of the movie posters to go into the weeklies. In this one, I included the task list on every page. This has actually become one of my favorite sort of layouts, is to have tasks as well as a small space for every day of the week. And ended that up with ideas and a review page. Alright, in my journal I also did a couple of scrapbooking spreads. One of those was my August spread, which was Elizabeth Bennet from Pride and Prejudice. And for the giveaway journal, I decided to do that style of a setup with Evie or Evelyn from the Mummy series. And so here we roll into a full scrapbook style. This is a pocket for you to put something in the pocket. And then we have Evelyn. And here she is before she knocks down all of the library books. And if you haven't watched this version of The Mummy, I highly suggest that you go check that out. Calendar with a spot for dates. and then into the weeklies. And of course, when you do the scrapbook style, it makes your pages much more thick than even the original 160 GSM paper. Perfect. Yeah, there we go. Evie was a fun one for me. She's a character that I really like. And I like her evolution through the movies. And there is the review page. I did make these backgrounds light enough that they could be written on with pen so that you can use them. Alright, after Evie, moving into October, I had requests for lots and lots of different kinds of witches, from the sisters in Charmed to various Harry Potter characters. Of course, I did McGonagall for October in my own journal. There were just lots of options that popped up, but ultimately for October, I chose Elphaba and Glinda from Wicked. And I just did a more traditional sort of doodly theme for this month. Back to a full calendar for that one, and the weeklies. And again, stuck with the doodly theme all the way through, and ended it, of course, with Defying Gravity and a little sketch of the Emerald City. And then for November, I actually did a fall sort of themed, but I thought we would let Miss Piggy show off her greatest fall fashions. And so we have Miss Piggy for November. Her habit tracker, I did put in a 1 line a day for giving thanks through the month of November. And the weeklies. And of course, Miss Piggy is always saying, "C'est moi," it is me. And so I ended November with that, as well as a review page. On some of the review pages, I gave you categories. On others, I left them blank, again, so that you can find your own style in filling that in. And then the final character, who is here, my Professor McGonagall setup for October was so popular that I decided to do, again, the third of the 3 most requested characters in December and switch up my Hogwarts style setup from fall and October to winter and December, and did Hermione, who again was requested over and over again. And of course I chose to go the McGonagall route instead of the Hermione route, and so this is going to look very similar to my personal October McGonagall setup, except I have transitioned it to a winter theme. And if you missed that, it'll be linked in the Fierce Fictional Female playlist down below. But these images came from Unsplash or Pixabay, and so the credit for those artists can be given. Here's the calendar, the habit tracker. This is actually the front of Ollivander's from Harry Potter World. And then the weeklies again, Dutch door style with the art on either side. And then the weeklies through the month. And then the very last page in the journal is a playlist as well as a review on December. And that gets us all the way to the very back. So there is the flip through of the Fierce Fictional Female giveaway journal. If you like this video, please make sure to like it, give it a big thumbs up, and if you would like to be entered to win this journal, again, comment what was your favorite of the months, put your Instagram handle down below, subscribe to this channel, and follow me over on Instagram. I have got a lot of 2022 content coming in the next couple of weeks. Some bonus videos are going to pop up as well in order to fit it all in before January 1st. So please make sure you are subscribed and have that bell notification turned on so that you don't miss any of those videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you next week.